What is up, guys? This is Kyle with HOGWORKZ. Welcome back to our channel. Today we are excited to introduce you to a brand new part that we have here at HOGWORKZ. These are our passenger peg frame sliders. These are going to be for your 18 to current softail models, including this here 23 Lowrider ST, which we're about to show you how to install these on. These are made of heavy duty steel with derlin sliders at the end. They're going to protect your bike from low end crashes and also be great for your passenger to have a little footrest going on in the back there. So let's jump into the installation here with Alex.
All right, guys, a couple things you'll need to complete the job tool-wise is going to be, of course, Loctite, needle nose pliers, a putty tool or some type of panel clip remover tool, a crescent wrench. You're going to need a 5/16 Allen wrench. You're going to need a T45 Torx bit, a 13mm socket, and then depending on what you got, a combination of either a universal joint bit extension, or these come in pretty handy. It's just like a flexible extension, and the flexible extension is going to be to get the exhaust bolts off. So we're going to go ahead and do the left side of the bike first. This is a lot easier side to install than the exhaust side, so we'll do that now. All right, so go ahead and remove your saddlebag here, and remove your other side saddlebag. All right, so after you got your saddlebags off, on the left side, you want to go ahead and remove this T45 screw here that holds your forward saddlebag grommet on. And the next thing you want to do is take a little pry tool, and you need to get this little plastic insert out. The easiest way to do that is just kind of bend the sides of it up, just so you can grab it with a pair of needle nose pliers and spin it out. Alright, so the peg with the cutout in it is going to be your left side. So the easiest way to do this is just a little Loctite on your threads. We're going to start with the top screw in here, and then we just kind of want to snug it up. We don't want to tighten it all the way down because we want to make sure we can get that bottom screw aligned. So you want to remove the T45 screw out of your bracket, and then with the other screw provided, a little Loctite on there, this through here, line it up here. And then this, because it's not going to be resting on this nut here, you want to kind of just eyeball it, line it up so that the cutout in the bracket follows the cutout of the flange on the nut there. Once you got that in line, just kind of hold it in place when you tighten this down so it doesn't turn while you're doing it. And then go ahead and tighten up your top one. Alright, so now that you got your left side peg on, you can go ahead and reinstall your saddlebag, and we can go ahead and jump to the other side. Alright, so onto the right side of the motorcycle. This side is a little more involved, mostly because of the exhaust. What you want to do first though is go ahead and loosen the exhaust heat shield bracket. So there's one screw here and one screw here. So after you got them loose, you go ahead and just rotate this down. And really all this is doing is giving you a little bit more room to get to this 5/16 screw that you need to remove. Again, 5/16. When you put it in here like this, some guys will use a closed-end wrench, open-end wrench, whatever. I like to just use an adjustable like this. Go ahead and lock it on there, and then go ahead and loosen that up. And then we're going to go ahead and pull this bolt right out of here. After you got the one above it, above the exhaust out, you go ahead and remove this lower one here. Same thing, 5/16 Allen. All right, so after you have those bolts removed, you'll want to loosen the exhaust manifold bolts. There's 2 here and 2 in the front, and you don't have to take the nut all the way off. You just want to loosen it out till the nut's about even with the end of the stud. And what this is going to do is allow the exhaust just to move over a little bit, just enough for you to be able to slide the bracket in there, and then at the end you can tighten everything up. On the front exhaust bolts, the forward one is a lot tougher to get to than this back one here. So what you might need is a universal adapter to be able to get yourself all the way up and on this nut here to be able to get it like that, so you can then back it out. So after you have the exhaust loose, you'll notice you can kind of pull it out a little bit. This is all the more room you need here. So where this is going to bolt to is there's a little plastic insert just like on the other side. So you want to use your little pry tool to lift up the edges of this thing here so that you can get on it with a pair of needle nose. Go ahead and pull that out. Put a little bit of Loctite on your threads for new screws here. Go ahead and pull out your exhaust. Slide this down between there. And then if you let the exhaust kind of back down, it will hold that peg in place. So go ahead and install the lower screw. And then you'll have to kind of use the same method to tighten this down. And all these 4 bolts are spec'd to 35 to 40 pounds. So the top mount, go ahead and start it with your fingers. All right, so hand tight. And then once both of your bolts are in hand tight, you can go ahead and tighten them up. Gets a little tight in here. If you had a stubby one of these, it'd do you a little justice, but it is doable with a regular Allen wrench. All right, so after you got your foot peg in and all tightened down, both your bolts, you can go ahead and repeat the process for tightening up your heat shield and tightening up your exhaust bolts. And then don't forget about the one guy right down here. After you got that tightened up, go ahead and tighten up your exhaust manifold bolts. All right, last thing you want to do is go ahead and reinstall your saddlebag.